This is 3 News Daily.
Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Wednesday, April 5th. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top stories from our area. And we start in Geauga County today, where the West Geauga School District is back open this morning. But this afternoon, the superintendent and the Jackson Township police chief held a press conference to reveal the latest details from the investigation after 18-year-old student Brandon Morrissette was arrested and is now charged with attempted murder. He's accused of carrying a gun into school on Monday and, according to court documents, had a plan to, quote, shoot multiple students. He's also been charged with inducing panic. Coming up tonight, we'll have the full details from this press conference. Now, it seems there may be some closure to a lifelong nightmare for 2 Northeast Ohio families. Gustav Safaris, convicted cold case killer, was sentenced to life in prison for murdering Karen Bentz and Loretta Jean Davis. Safaris was found guilty on March 17th for the 1970 and 1975 murders. During the sentencing hearing today, Karen Bentz's sister revealed what happened to her family in the aftermath of Karen's death.
All right, Ms. Rebecca, I've just unmuted.
You destroyed my family when you killed my sister, and you will finally be held accountable for your actions. I can never get my sister back, no matter what sentence you receive.
Safaris was arrested and indicted in 2019 for the cold case murders based on Ohio law from the 1970s when the murders happened. Now in Akron, Mayor Dan Horrigan says a grand jury will be seated next week to look at findings from BCI's investigation into the death of Jayland Walker. 25-year-old Walker was shot and killed by 8 police officers in June who fired roughly 90 rounds after a chase. This week, officials say the city is preparing for protests and has boarded up several buildings out of precaution. Ward 5 council member Tara Mosley is telling the people of Akron, "I hear you, I see you, I stand with you. We as a city are wounded, but we can and will heal this city together." Now, after an historic day yesterday, former President Trump is speaking out and tearing into the investigations that he faces. This is after becoming the first former president in the U.S. to be charged with a crime. He was arraigned in New York on 34 felony charges tied to an alleged hush money scheme during the 2016 presidential run. The arraignment took less than an hour yesterday, but the political fallout is only just beginning.
Former President Trump once again holding court at his Mar-a-Lago estate after an historic day in a courtroom in Manhattan.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America.
The former president and 2024 candidate defiant about the 34 felony counts of falsifying business records leveled against him.
Let's look at that. This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, and it should be dropped immediately.
The speech before a cheering crowd, a sharp departure from Mr. Trump's afternoon being fingerprinted and appearing stone-faced before a judge, pleading not guilty over his alleged role in a scheme involving hush money payments to 2 women leading up to the 2016 election. Prosecutors laying out an unlawful plan to identify and suppress negative information that could have undermined his campaign.
We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. The defendant repeatedly made false statements on New York business records.
The Trump team calling it political persecution.
If this man's name was not Donald J. Trump, there is no scenario we'd all be here today. Please understand that based on these charges.
Charges dividing America with clashes on display outside the courtroom. The one-time commander-in-chief, now a criminal defendant and a presidential candidate once again, in a campaign clouded by legal controversy.
Now, former President Trump's next court appearance is set for December 4th. Yes, all the way in December 4th. That's just 2 months before the 2024 Republican presidential primary calendar officially kicks off. Now, if your head is spinning a little bit with all of these different criminal investigations into the former president, I certainly can't blame you. We have a Legally Speaking special that breaks it all down, including these latest allegations that have led to the president being charged with 34 crimes. You can find that on WKYC Plus and on the WKYC YouTube page. It's a conversation with 3 former federal prosecutors about all the possibilities in all of these investigations for more possible charges. Now, meanwhile, Governor Mike DeWine was here in our studio yesterday talking to our Christy Paul on a number of subjects, including Trump's arraignment yesterday, saying, quote, "It's not a happy day."
We've never had anything like this before. I mean, that's what makes it just very, very different. And look, it is what it is. We're going to have to see how this thing plays out. There's, you know, if you read the papers this morning or listen to the news, you know, there's other investigations that are going on as well. And we're just, look, we're a strong country. I keep telling people, look, we're a strong country. We're a resilient country. We don't want to see this happen. It is happening. We'll get through it.
Governor DeWine also commented that U.S. citizens have to respect the law and let the judicial process play out, but did remind people that they have the right to demonstrate, but do not have the right to cross the line and commit violence. DeWine also talked about a new permanent health clinic that's coming to the people of East Palestine, which includes care for the first responders from the toxic train derailment.
We've had a clinic, temporary clinic that's been set up in one of the churches, but we've now talked and worked with the local hospital. They're going to come in, and what we want to see in answer to what people in East Palestine are saying, you know, many times people say, look, I don't have any symptoms, but what I worry about is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, am I going to get cancer? Is this going to evolve? So we wanted to set up a permanent clinic for the people of the community so that anybody now can go in and get a baseline. We have, for example, the fire chief told me we have 300 people, first responders who responded that night from all over, some coming in from Pennsylvania, many from other departments. What the fire chief wants is for every one of them to be able to go in, get a baseline, find out where they are right today, so that in the years ahead, if anything happens, there's documentation of where they were now.
Now, Governor DeWine says while Norfolk Southern wasn't as forthcoming as the state expected in the first few days of the crisis, he says the company is helping the people of East Palestine and doing everything Ohio authorities are asking of them now. All right, now let's look forward to Friday because it is the Guardians' home opener. The Guardians are gearing up to battle the Seattle Mariners again, and Cleveland Heights' own Travis Kelce is throwing out the first pitch, set for 4:10 p.m. We're told the game has already been completely sold out, but we do have your back if you couldn't grab tickets. We'll have team coverage throughout the day. That's starting at 4:30 a.m. with Go, and then expanded coverage in our 2-hour special from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And for our full home opener guide, you can text the word Guardians to 216-344-3300. It's going to be a great day for baseball here in Northeast Ohio. Hopefully they bring home a win for us. Thanks for being with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. Remember, you can catch this live on your TVs every day, Monday through Friday at 1:22 and 1:52. Whether you're watching on an online platform or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow with more of your top stories from Northeast Ohio.